Justin Hall here, Justin Hall Motorsports, 13th Fabrication, and we finally are getting to work on the 4800 car. So, yeah, we're gonna get to it. Got a yard that 480 out of it, that one there. Then get the badass Chris at Maximum Super 80, all the fancy cool stuff done to it, and we're gonna get that in the car. And probably won't be able to get it running this weekend. I have to order a couple fittings from Brown & Miller and then make one new hose. But for sure, transmission will at least be in the car. And yeah, and I got to go through rebuild the T case because I know it got hot. I'm going to kind of change some things up, kind of change the vent up on it a little bit if I can. Do a couple more upgrades to things, and then hopefully be able to start testing and tuning. The front diff, I know I need to go figure out why it's not venting. I think I may have, when I built the splash shield, I may have made it a little too close to it, so may just have to pull the front diff out and pry it down a little bit to get the splash shield on the vent to have a little bit more room. Rear diff is venting fine, but like I said, the front's just pressurizing and pushing it out the seals. So yeah, just gotta keep plugging away at it. Like I said, transmission's gonna be coming out. Got to start with pulling drive shafts first, so that's gonna be the first order of business. Saturday, calling it quits for the day. T case is out. Was working on cleaning it. It's gonna need a lot of work. Transmission needs to be drained, and then we can yank that out. Didn't get as much done as I wanted today. I had that Jeep that I just finished came back in, which pretty quick and easy. It was just a grease zerk on the upper link that apparently knocked off, so drop the upper link and repair that. But yep, so gotta go home, do family stuff now, and then be back at it. Day 2 at this. It's Sunday now. Transmission out. I didn't get the transmission out last night or yesterday because I didn't have the parts to make this guy. I was trying to figure out a way to be able to pull the transmission out like at races and whatnot. And sorry, it's in my face. Yeah, be able to get the transmission out and in at the track without like killing ourselves for it. And I stole this idea from Levi Shirley, but I built it a little different. I used some what is this, Unistrut? It's like 12 gauge or I think it's 12 gauge Unistrut. I used the Unistrut like 700-pound rated wheel caster. Made my own little mount for it. Little quarter-ton come-along. And then these bolt into place on this side, and the other side just kind of is welded in place over here. Let me walk over, show it to you. It says here, well, right there. This is welded into place here, and this bolt keeps the slide from wanting to slide all the way out. On this side, if I needed to ever get something out the side, so I left that side long, but my transmission comes out the bottom. So I don't need that. I'm actually kind of leaning on cutting some of it off and then just make life a lot easier. Just kind of lop it off, like essentially right at like this one here. So you have one more bolt width, and then this upper bracket here, I slotted it too so I can adjust it on top of the slots that are here. So if I need to be able to tighten it a little bit more, I can. What else? Yeah, I think about doing a little bit, putting something here to be able to like pull like a bolt that pushes on that tube so it pinches it and holds it tight, because right now it kind of just floats around a little bit. I kind of got it locked into place right now, but it's got to wedge in perfectly for it to fit right. But yeah, it works pretty good. Doesn't quite give me a nice straight up and down pull on the transmission because the way, let me just flip this camera around for you. See, I got all my electronics, everything, and my fire suppression mount there. So the transmission is in, it's actually kind of a pull like this, but it at least gives me the chance to like support it and then pull it out. And then when I get it in, I can always rock the transmission up, stab the dowel pins, and then push the back end up and then set at least one bolt in, and then that'll be plenty enough to hold it. Yeah, here's a new transmission. I gotta swap a couple things over. Gotta swap over a 90 onto this because that's a 1/8 inch MPT plug, and that plug is essentially where I get the line pressure at. So I'll have that for transmission pressure. This down here is where I'm assuming the pan for the pan temp would go on this. Mine is over here. I'm pretty sure I have enough on the sensor to move it, or if I need to, I can always extend the sensor out a little bit, which isn't ideal, but I can do it if I had to. Or I can just weld in a new bung right there, which I could do that too. I just don't want to pull the pan off to do that. It's just me not being lazy. I don't want to mess with how Chris has it all. It's nice and pretty, and it says Super 80 right there. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's got the SFI rated Ultra Bell on it, which I just measured, which funny enough, even though this is thicker here, it's like recessed in. So all the same bolts will fit. I thought I would have to get longer bolts for it, but it all fits pretty tits. I got to swap the SCS adapter. Whoa. Where are we at? Right there. Wow, this is weird doing this backwards. But yeah, I got to swap that adapter out to this guy here and put on the back of that. I have to measure the back of the output shaft because I may have to cut some of this off because I had to do that on that one. So yeah, see what happens. See how it shakes out, but I'm getting ready to do that endeavor right now. I'm going to need to swap over this port because mine has a outlet temp on it. So I'll swap this out and put this one on there. And then I'm going to have to get a new hose made that is a -6 because this feed line here is a -6 versus an outlet of -8. I thought about swapping everything to -8s, but I also don't want to change anything because that's how Chris has it set up. So yeah, probably not going to change it and just leave it how it is. So yeah, I'm going to start taking that adapter plate and the other miscellaneous stuff off and start putting it on this. So hopefully this can go in the car tonight. I'm slightly worried that pan is about an inch deeper than that one, and I built the car with that pan in mind. So I'm hoping I don't have clearance issues to like my skid plate or anything. If I do, I'm gonna have to figure something out. Not quite sure what I'd end up doing, but it might be a big deal. If not, it might be fine. Don't know, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say the least. So we shall see. Well, got a slight hiccup. The SCS adapter doesn't like to fit on this for some reason. It's about an 1/8 inch. Won't slide in the last 1/8 inch that it needs to. Pull it and so I put a center punch so I know what's the top side, right? See that? Then you go to this case and it fits perfect. Not really sure why. Got a message. I got a message SCS tomorrow. I'm gonna give them a call and talk to them about things because I fired off an email already, but we know it's Saturday or Sunday, so they're probably not gonna answer, obviously. But I at least send it off so it's there. And then I need an adapter for this fitting here to be in another -8 out with an 1/8 inch MPT port on it. So I ordered that. Need a 1/4 inch NPT to 1/8 inch NPT for the sensor. So ordered that as well. Transmission shifter also. My shift linkage off that transmission does not work with this one because they rotate at a different ratio. So now I get to put that in the car and play measurement for the next, like, well, it took me like a couple hours to get that one right there with the mechanical linkage on the shifter. So it's going to take me a bit to get this one right too. I think I just got to position different because I already have the center to center measurement. I just need to get the right angle of the dangle on it. So let me see. Ow. Let me show you guys it. Ow, that just hurt. Just ripped open a scab. So this guy here. I made this to work with the stock case, but now I get to do it again for the SCS, or fuck, not the SCS case. Wow, I am definitely tired. For the Reid case. So, because that obviously, like I said, the where it sets at on park is here, and then where park on my transmission is like this. So I just need to make that bracket same length, center to center, and then rotate it up so it matches. But like I said, I can't do that until it's in the car. But that'll be a whole lot of another day's problem. So yeah, I am checking out for the night. All right, what's up, everybody? I've been sick for a hot minute, so finally feeling better, but that gave me a metric shit ton of problems. This adapter, I had to machine a bunch off the back of it to work with the Pearl 80 case or the new Super 80 case. I will grab my square and I'll show you on the other case what it was doing. So this guy right here sits nice and flat against. Let me see if I can do this. Sits nice and flat, right, on this case. The other one, it sits out about 1/8 of an inch. So I had to take 1/8 of an inch off the back of the adapter, which I didn't video any of that because I was just fucking busy. So then, yeah, had to do that. Finally got all that back on tonight. Was trying to fix the AC on that thing, but it needs a new pump. I ain't messing with that tonight. I don't have a pump. I thought it was a clutch, but everything on it's just fucked. 252,000 miles on it, and she finally said kaput on the AC. So I guess that'll be another day's project or somebody else's problem. I'm not gonna fucking do it. I don't really have the patience right now for it. This whole debacle has been pissing me off. So, yeah, I got to get that case back to Chris somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it needs to go back to Chris to get rebuilt. Then that'll be a good spare. Then I got to talk to Chris about why he did -6s on this instead of 8s. I'm just going to ask him and see if jumping it up to 8s is a bad idea, because my whole car has always been -8s. But if he wants a -6 for a certain reason, like, I'm not going to tell him no. I just want to ask questions and understand some stuff. So that'll be the next order of business, is figure that out. But at this point, the transmission can go in the car. I got the adapter to put the temp sensor in there. Had to get a quarter MPT to 1/8 inch MPT adapter to thread down here for the pan temp sensor, because this is a temperature. This one here is a temp out, so that's for the pan temp. I have to put. I already did it. I put the 90 right here for the line pressure, or for the pump pressure. And yeah, so essentially this can go back in the car, and then I just got to clean up the SCS, finish cleaning that all up. I want to take it apart because I started cleaning it, but just get all the old gear oil out. I'm just going to split the halves again, and then get the sprayed out, really go some brake clean, and then shove it all back together and put it in the car. But that'll be another next weekend's project. I got to work on that side by side. So I'm going to try to do that the rest of this week and get that in and out. So, yep, that's going to be the end of this video for now. All right, guys, so I lied. This isn't the end of the video. This clip here that I'm adding is going to be the end of the video. So I just finished making a new one of these guys, which is a gear select for the mechanical linkage, because the Reid case, too much shit in the way. The Reid case, the shifter ended up in a different location. Like this one sit like this in park on the factory case, and then the new Reid case, it sat something like this. So I had to remake this. So this one here will work for the stock case, and then the new one, which I'll flip around and show you once I finish explaining this. The new one will stay with the Reid case. This one will stay with the stock case when I get it back. So I'll flip it around and show you it on the stock case and explain everything. This essentially sits like this, right? That's in park. You go one click. One is reverse, obviously, and then neutral. Well, that was two. 1, 2, 3. No, that might have been 4. I might have clicked past it, but you guys get the idea, right? So come over to this guy. As you can see, I have shifter, mechanical linkage, all the way down. So where technically the gates show it as first, right? But that's technically fourth because it's a reverse manual valve body. So it's fourth, third, second, first. It's slightly off between first and second, as you can see, but it's not enough to be much of an issue. There's enough play down there that in the whole linkage that it won't like get stuck halfway between the gear. As you can see there, that one's not bad. It's neutral. The first is slightly off. I can probably lengthen this rod one more half a turn on that rod end, and that should fix this, which I'll probably do that. And then you have neutral, reverse, and park, right? So that's the mechanical linkage setup. But yeah, I had to essentially remake that piece there. So that piece there, let me get the other piece out of my pocket, show you what we're working with. Sorry, video is kind of shaky right now. Ugh. So essentially this sat on here like this, as you can see, was not going to work with the right geometry and everything. So I had to make a new one of these, the same bend on it, the same distance from here to here, which is 2.59 from center to center, which from here to here is almost, they're like identical to each other, which they're supposed to be. So the linkage will shift perfect between the two. As it is right now, that one had to be like a 1/16 of an inch longer to work and be happy with the way the rotation is. So that's why the rod end will need to be adjusted like half a turn. But when you're swapping a transmission in the middle of the desert, that's an easy thing to do. So yeah, got that done tonight. Got the transmission in. I still got to do torque converter bolts, which I'll probably knock that out just so I don't forget that. Still got to clean the transfer case. Then transfer case can go back and get oil put back in it, and then can get put back in the car. And then I still got to order the fittings to convert that whole line setup on the passenger side to dash 8. But yeah, getting there, guys.